This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
He was a Giant, and he was a Cowboy. Now these two former rivals have joined forces to bring you the most insightful, perceptive, and controversial sports talk podcast in America. Former Dallas Cowboys defensive end Jim Jeffcoat locks horns with former New York Giants wide receiver Byron Williams. And now, here's Byron Williams and Jim Jeffcoat.
Good evening, Byron.
What's going on there? How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Man, I'm down here. It's hump day, man. I'm in the middle of the week. I'm humping. Yeah. So getting ready for, my annual football camp and golf tournament in my hometown.
Yeah, in June.
In June, yeah. June. It's going to be June 23rd, 24th.
I'll be there. So.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we're gonna have the golf tournament, so I'm gonna see if I can get somebody to bid on you to play golf with you. And we play a 2-man scramble, so which is good. And
you might as well count me as the winner. So
Jim been practicing, so we'll see what he got.
Yeah, I have been practicing. But hey, let's talk about some things. I got a couple of things I want to talk to you about. First of all, I was thinking about this earlier today. Mm-hmm. Who do you think the top 5 receiving cores are in the NFL at this point? And I'll tell you who I think are the top 5 defensive ends or edge rushers.
Top 5 receivers. Core.
Yeah.
I do think Philadelphia got 2 good receivers.
A.J. Brown
and Smitty.
Yeah.
Of course, Miami. They got 2 good receivers in Miami. You got to put Deebo Samuel and those guys in there. So the 49ers got some good receivers. I always have like CeeDee Lamb ever since he left Oklahoma. I don't know who he will have with him.
I'm listening.
But I'm trying to say for sure. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings, and then I would have to put in that.
They got rid of Adam Thielen.
Yeah. They drafted Addison, I think, the receiver from USC.
Yeah, Braylon Addison.
Yeah,
He's a little bit undersized.
Yeah, a little undersized, but I think he's gonna come in and make a huge impact. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think. If you put the tight end in there, Kansas City will be in that category.
Question.
Kansas City. So
would you say the same thing for San Francisco?
Yeah, same thing for San Francisco. Exactly. Yeah. If you put the tight end in there.
Yeah, I was kind of interested. I was listening to you. Why didn't you put Cincinnati in there?
You know what? Cincinnati is definitely in the top 5.
Yeah, that's
Jamar Chase and those guys.
Yeah, T. Higgins.
And Higgins, they'd probably be in the top 3 to be exact because of the quarterback that they have. Yeah.
My number 1 group would probably be obviously Miami.
Miami, yeah. Well, the only thing about Miami is the question mark on the quarterback.
Yeah, but those 2 receivers can win games for you.
Yeah, they can turn it up.
And then I was thinking the number 2 would be Philadelphia.
Yeah, for sure. And the good thing about Philadelphia, A.J. Brown was saying today that the majority, all the leaders stayed in place with the Eagles. Everybody's talking about them, but going back and trying to win the Super Bowl this year in Las Vegas. So I think they're about trying to repeat, and it's hard to get back to the Super Bowl back to back. That's for sure.
Exactly, and plus they've had a lot of coaching
changes, right?
And it's how healthy you stay, and I think the coaching turnover is going to get them. And then my number 3 would have been 6. That's why I asked you Cincinnati. I think those 2 guys, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, anybody would want them on their team.
Absolutely, and then they got a 3rd receiver too. So you're exactly right. But the exciting thing that I like about this year schedule is that it's going to be challenging for some teams. It's going to be some great matchups, and it's going to be some creative coaching style or philosophy for us, how they move the pieces around on their teams. And then again, the offense and defense coordinators going to have to be able to make sure that they can keep these guys or place these guys in their systems.
We lost you for a minute.
Huh?
We lost you for a minute.
Yeah, I was just saying. I just think that it's gonna be a great season to see how creative and how mastermind some of these coaches can be, the offensive and defense coordinators can be, and then the system of how healthy some of these receivers can stay.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I think when I look at the defensive line, I look at obviously Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, but they're not number one. I think Cleveland was Darius Harris going there. I mean, the guy from Minnesota.
Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett. They're probably going to be really devastating. I think Bosa in San Francisco has a really good front. And then any front that has Aaron Donald is going to be good.
So the Rams. And I was thinking the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Why would you say because of Watts?
Yeah.
TJ Watts. Yeah, I couldn't argue with you there.
Yeah, I think the Steelers got a great defense.
There's again is the health.
I tell you who been having a good season the last 2 or 3 years is the Raiders defensive line with Crosby and those guys.
Yeah, we can't put him out of there.
I'm telling you.
You're right.
You really have a lot of, and I'm telling you, me and the New York Giants, man, they got some.
Yeah, I like Thibodeau.
Thibodeau gonna be. I think Thibodeau gonna have at least 10 sacks this year. And now I'm trying to tell you, he's gonna have at least 10 sacks.
That's I don't know, but he'll do well. But 10 sacks is a lot in there.
It is a lot, but I'm telling you, he was close last year. I think if he, it just depends on how hard he worked in the offseason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then I was
49ers hand down.
I don't think so. I don't think because I think Cleveland has two better players. Bosa is good, but you would take Myles Garrett over Bosa. Myles Garrett is,
right. Myles Garrett he's in the top. He's one of the top edge rushers out there. And I'll tell you another line that's going to give some people some problems is the Chargers.
Yeah, because you got another Bosa there.
You got the other Bosa.
I wouldn't say hands down the 49ers. Because Philadelphia pretty much handled them in the game. And I know Purdy got hurt and everything, but Philadelphia, and they do have good interior people at the 49ers, but I thought Philadelphia handled them.
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion on it. That doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. But looking at fronts, I mean, they are a very good front. And then we didn't talk when we talked about receivers, we never say anything about Seattle.
Seattle defense, it's Seattle defense and the Jets defense.
The receivers.
You're exactly right. Seattle defense, their secondary is spectacular. I'll tell you that. Yeah. And the Jets,
the receivers on offense.
Yeah,
I mean, you got real men over there.
And you know what? We hadn't talked about the Bills. I mean, the Bills got some good interior linemen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Bills do. But can they sustain it without Leslie Frazier being there?
Yeah. Yeah, Leslie want to take a year off, I heard. He want to take a year off.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. It kind of, you play chess match with how you move their players around and how they would respond to the coaches.
It's my point is that's why I think Philly is not their players are probably the best in the National Football League, but with so much transition in their coaching staff, I think that's what's going to get them.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to hurt them. Everybody's got them picking them to win the NFC East, And that could possibly be true, but I think they're going to struggle some because of their coaching staff. Because now the head coach has got to, like Bill Parcells used to always say, I got to train coaches. I got to teach coaches. Well, that's what the head coach is going to spend his time, because they've only been with him for a short. Even Matt Patricia, I know he's been in the league for a long time, but he hasn't been with this head coach.
He hasn't been with the Eagles, yeah.
Yeah. So you got to learn their style. You just don't walk in and coach. You got to learn.
That's going to be the same thing with the Washington Commandos. It's the same concept.
Yeah. Eric Bieniemy, yeah.
Yeah.
The defense will probably be a little farther ahead than the offense because of that.
Yeah.
And you're right. And then I think Washington has talent. I think it's, there are going to be 3 teams again from the NFC East that make the playoffs. That's just.
And I tell you, you know what team I forgot to mention? Detroit. That defensive line.
Detroit, I think Detroit is going to win that division, but they don't scare me.
They don't scare you?
No, because I think they still are maybe a year away.
But I still say Detroit, the reason why they played the way they played was because their defense. Their defensive side brought so much momentum.
But they struggled. Remember, they were just outscoring people at the beginning.
Yeah.
And as the season progressed, they got better.
Hutchinson I think the second year is going to be a key factor for their defense as well.
I agree with you. I agree. And they're getting a Jack Campbell.
And I'd say the first game going to be a true test to see what they do.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I like Detroit. I like Dan Campbell. He was a Giant and a Cowboy. So,
yeah.
I mean, he's a big old joker,
and he's from Texas. He's from Glen Rose, Texas. He's
from Glen Rose, Texas. Played at A&M.
Yeah,
but I think they still got some issues. And they traded Swift to Philly and got the young running back. So I don't know. I think they're going to win the NFC. They'll beat Minnesota for the NFC Central North. I don't think they're going to be a threat when you get to the playoffs.
Well, if they can continue to play like they did at the end of the season, going into this season, they're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, they're going to be good, but I don't think they'll be. I just don't see it yet.
You don't see it yet?
I see it yet because of scheduling. I think teams like people are going to have to watch out for Atlanta. Everybody says, what? That's how you talk. But I think Atlanta did some good things last year. And then you mentioned Carolina played really good, have a really good running game.
Yeah.
Is in a really good defense, but it all determines on how fast Bryce Young picks up their offense and how healthy he stays.
He got to stay healthy.
Yeah. And he's not a very big guy. I was looking at a portrait they had of him in the offensive lineman. He looked like a kid. All you wanted to see, if you thought he'd have an autograph, something to get autographed and get some autographs, he looked so little behind that offensive line.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's gonna be the key. Who get a fast start. But the key thing for me is I need to take a closer look and see how these OTAs are going and seeing how and that's where you win those games from week 10 to week 18 is coming from this OTA stuff.
Yeah, no question. I haven't heard a lot about the Giants OTAs. I've heard of, obviously being in Dallas, I've been hearing about the Cowboys OTAs. They had the rookies in right now.
What I heard about the Michael Parsons was down in Austin.
Yes.
Training hard. They say he put on about 10 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
And so that's what I heard about them. And then the running back situation been a key subject with Ezekiel Elliott still out there on the marketplace.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook.
I've heard that a lot too.
He's I don't know what the Vikings are going to do, but he's going to be a key point of factor of where they're going to decide where they're going to pay him to 10.4 or let him ease onto the sunset.
And then the Giants, They're saying the Giants pulled Barkley's contract offer.
Well, they might as well just wait till the season starts, or either wait because he's going to play under that franchise tag.
Yeah. But the problem is for as a Cowboy fan, I hope Barkley's not there at the beginning of the year. But
he's not going to sit out.
Why would he sit out?
Why would he want to sit out?
I'm just telling you what happened with Emmitt Smith. I was about to explain it. Is that Emmitt sat out 2 games and then came in.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right, but it wasn't a franchise. They made the deal because we were really good and we lost both of those games.
Right.
With Emmitt. And Saquon is the Giants' offense, and we know that. And they're gonna say they got this and that. They gotten better receivers, but Daniel Jones is not gonna win the game without Saquon.
Absolutely,
Saquon, the heartbeat of that offense.
Yeah, and that's a proven fact. That's a proven fact. So they need to go ahead and start working on it and start making some things happen. They need to tie up some money somewhere and they need to start talking to his agent. I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah. So you got to make this work, or it's going to be tough for them to rebound later in the season. I know there's 17 games, but he'll probably come in. And I know you say he's going to be working out and everything, but it's different getting in that football shape, as you know and I know.
And plus, it's a long season. I mean, your body is
exactly.
You got to cut on that on and off switch, and you got to be able to have the mindset, and then you got to be mentally prepared. Yeah.
And I think the Giants in other positions have gotten better, but there's only one Saquon Barkley.
There's only one, and there are some factors. These are the factors: the offensive strength, your defensive strategy, your special team play. Is that consistency, and then your turnover factor.
Yeah.
Right. And then at the end, can you win the close games? Can your coaches pull off those close games?
You make a good point, because what I'm saying is now you put more pressure on Jones if Barkley's not there.
Yeah.
You put more pressure on him, and can he do the things where it makes him pressure himself, and it makes him probably make some throws or runs that he shouldn't have made.
Yeah.
And that's the thing you got to look at. And with Barkley, he can get away with those things because Barkley is a threat to any time to take it to the house.
Yeah, and another thing too, you don't want Daniel Jones to run as much, because if he run like he ran in the past, he's gonna get hurt. I don't care what nobody say. If he run like he ran in the past, he's gonna get hurt because of the injuries and the collisions and the hits that he had to take. So you want that security blanket back there in the backfield with him. You know, back in the days, you had your fullback and your tailback, but now you just have that one back right there. So you don't have that security protection.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And but you can, most of the time when people max protect, they bring in extra tight ends to block and everything.
Yeah, and I think that's why they have three good tight ends on every team now. Yeah. You have to have those guys come in and help block the backside for the quarterbacks. We always talked about this too, the pocket presence. Now Daniel Jones last year really got it down, and I hope he don't go back to any old ways, because if he got to be able to move and be mobile while he's in that pocket.
Yeah, and I agree with you, but people are going to attack you different if Barkley's not there, because they're not going to fear to run as much without Barkley. I mean, if Barkley was there, they'd fear to run more.
Yeah.
But if he's not there, I don't know who the backup back is, but he ain't Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I had looked that up. Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing that Daniel Jones was able to do. He was able to get the ball out of his hand and get it to Barkley as well, and which was just a good strategy, and keep that defense balanced. You can't anticipate. Yeah, so that was good.
There's no question about it. Now, the big story this week is we'll get back to football, was John Morant. He was just suspended how many games? 8 games, was it?
Yeah, I think 8 games.
8 games. And then last week, he was doing an Instagram video with his his best friend, who they suspended from the Memphis arena. They suspended his best friend.
From coming to the games?
From coming to the games because he had, they got at him, John Morant's father, and this guy got in an altercation with the Indiana Pacers, and he was pointing a laser at their bus, through their bus.
Yeah.
So Morant, and there's 2 issues on this. First of all, don't get it twisted. I think this kid needs to grow up. I think he's totally wrong. But the legality of it is that he can carry that gun, and that's not illegal. It's just a bad image. He thinks, John Morant grew up a 2-parent home. He grew up, he went to a private school in Sumter, Carolina, and he wants to live this fantasy of us that he's a gangster. John Morant's not a gangster.
Well, that's one of the things I talked about last night. I'm in my hometown. I was invited down here to speak at my high school sports banquet last night. So it was a lot of young kids in there from the 9th grade to the 12th grade. And, some of them I looked over the crowd, and some of them with one parent, some with the grandparents. Yeah. So, the homes are different. Like what you just mentioned is he had both parents. He don't have no excuse. But what really get a lot of these kids is their friends, and they want to try to showcase that there's another side. I'm tough too, and I can do this 3. And when you become real popular, you got all these followers on social media. You become a leader. You become an instant star, and that brings on responsibilities. And those responsibilities are, you got to be like. You got to be like a guy like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Magic Johnson, and Larry Bird. Those guys was the face of the NBA, and that's why the NBA is what it is today. These kids need to understand that guys had to make sacrifice, but yet there was expectation on the other end of the spectrum for these guys. So, with all these gun violence and things happening around the country, and people are now talking about guns and this and guns and that, and they're going into all these racket shooting, you have a responsibility.
Well, let's look at our sport with what happened with Sean Taylor. He got a home invasion and got killed.
Right.
Ray Lewis in Atlanta. What happened with him?
At the Super Bowl.
Yeah, at the Super Bowl. He was with his buddies. Somebody got killed, and he almost lost his career because of that. And you see it, like you said, these guys don't understand. This ain't no joke. It's all fun and games until someone gets injured.
Right.
And then even Keyshawn Johnson, who grew up in South Central LA, said, hey, you don't want that life. They're trying to get away from that life. And you trying to get in it, you don't understand about that life.
Yeah, you really don't. You really don't.
And I'm just using it from a football standpoint.
Right.
Because I know that we've had players that came from that life. They were trying to escape that life.
Right.
It ain't all what you hear in the rap videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And when we had, when you have a gun, you call them for a lot of trouble. You have to have your, you need to have your paperwork and all that. But when you're going out and showing it on social media and everybody can see your page, Instagram, and all that, you're not doing yourself any favor. I just think you got to be smart. If you're gonna do things, you can't be out there, especially when you're known the way he's known.
Well, there was a player, I know you've heard of it, but there was a player for the Dallas Cowboys last year, His name was Calvin Joseph. He was a cornerback. He was from Baton Rouge. So he had some of his boys from Baton Rouge come out. They go down to downtown Dallas, what we call Deep Ellum. It's basically bars and everything. They get in an altercation with another guy. He was from Corsicana. And one of his guys rolled up their Suburban and shot him and killed him. Who's the first person they're going to look at? And they did, Calvin Joseph.
The NFL guy, the guy with the guy that was the most recognizable name. Yeah.
You are a target. You have to understand that. Your friends that you grew up with might not be your friends at this point in your life. That's harsh, but you got to look at the reality of it because they don't have as much to lose as you do. And you learn it. You see it every day.
And who these families gonna sue out of the group? Right. Who they gonna sue?
Calvin Joseph. And that man. And what's sad is that young man was 21 years old, I think. Yeah. And he lost his life.
Yeah.
He lost his life. We see gun violence every day. You saw it in New Mexico. You saw it. And I hate to get on this because this is a sports show, but that's the reality in sports today. You cannot do that. Now, I don't think they would love to suspend John Morant for a year, but they're not. They can't. They can't because it's not illegal.
But he need to go. He needs to do something. Look, how he can soften the cushion. He need to go do something big in the community.
Yeah.
He need to go take some classes. Take some classes. I don't know what classes you need to take. Take classes, and then
I agree. I agree with you 100%.
But you have to do something. You have to do something to make sure that I first of all admit I should have never done it. It was a stupid act. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not serious, but it was stupid, and it's done. And it's not.
It is serious.
It's serious. Yeah, it's serious. Yeah, it's serious.
I mean, he got in trouble for pointing a gun at a 17-year-old kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, stuff like that, but it is serious.
One of the things I always remember by me playing up in New York is Plaxico Burress. He shot himself. Yeah. And then he had to go to jail.
Yeah.
Had to go to jail for shooting yourself. The gun accident went off. He had to go to jail. Right. Yeah. But he damaged his whole career, and then he tried to come back and he couldn't run the same, all that type of stuff. But my point is, it was just a stupid mistake.
Yeah, yeah. The greatest player in the NFL, and it's arguable, the greatest player in the NBA right now grew up in a lot worse situation than John Morant. His mother was in and out of jail. His high school football, not high school, but his Pop Warner football coach basically raised the kid. And he came from a different situation. And he became, and you never hear anything about him negative. He's built schools, and like you said, he did all positive things. And how he is perceived is totally different. Yeah. That's who John Morant should emulate.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, LeBron James is a perfect example. It doesn't matter where you start; it's how you finish.
It's how you finish and how you present yourself, and how the things he say and the time he say it is so important.
And see, the reason that because when I think of athletes that present themselves in the right way, that's why everybody was talking about Dak Prescott. I think Dak Prescott, first of all, is commendable what he does in the Dallas-Fort Worth community. Because his mother had passed a couple years ago, his brother committed suicide, but he puts a lot of energy in this community.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know it like I do.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the face of the Cowboys right now, and he's doing it the right way. And that's not going to just help him as a player. That'll help him down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what you have to do. You have to take it to the next level. And when you get that platform and you the face of the franchise, that's what you have to do. You have to continue do goodwill towards all men.
No question. And the same thing, you're exactly right, because that's what Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones have to do, because they become the face of the New York Giants. Sauce Gardner, Aaron Rodgers for the Jets.
Yeah.
Things like that. And now down in Houston, Stroud. Stroud.
Yeah.
He's going to become the face of that. So now you're held at a different standard. Is it fair? Probably not. But is it fair that you make over $100 million? I'm just telling you, you become the face of those franchises.
Yeah, especially now the position is quarterback. The quarterback going to have a C on their jerseys. That comes with the territory.
No question. And I say that all the time. The one who is doing it the best right now is Jalen Hurts, how he presents himself. You see the differences when I talk about.
He just got that master's degree from Oklahoma.
Yeah, he just got his master's, but he's doing it the right way. And
but you know what? In the background of Jalen Hurts is his parents.
Yes,
I've known
his father forever.
Yeah,
I used to recruit that. I've gotten a lot of players, and he raised him right, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
Is John Morant's father wants to be.
He want to be celebrity. He want to take his son's spot.
Yeah, and that's true. But where you never hear, the only time you ever heard his father get interviewed, his father's a successful coach down in Houston, Channelview.
Yeah, Channelview. Yeah.
And he's very successful. He's won down there, but you never hear anything about it. With John Morant's father is arguing with players from other teams. What kind of junk is that?
You don't do that.
I'll never forget this. LeBron's mother went out there. He got into an altercation with somebody from another team.
Yeah.
And if you remember that, he told his mother to sit down. We ain't having that. He said, no, we ain't having that. And that's the way you're supposed to act. I can take care of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want my father sitting out there, arguing and saying, just watch the game. Enjoy the game. I mean,
with how quick the social media and how quick people talk and the way news travel, now you really don't want to add no more negativity to your life. You really don't.
And then changing gears a little bit, I'm a Philadelphia 76ers fan, and I've always said that. I've followed them since Dr. J. But it was disturbing to me when Joel Embiid, I don't believe was the MVP. I told you I believe Joker was the MVP. Joel Embiid, after the game, after they got blown out by Boston Celtics, said that him and James Harden need help because they can't do it by themselves. He threw everybody under the bus. Brett Maxey, who's from South Garland in Texas, had 21 points. Tobias Harris had 19 points.
They played well.
Yeah. James Harden had 9 points.
James Harden. I would sign James Harden.
Huh? Yeah.
I would sign James Harden.
No. And then Joel Embiid had 15 points. And here it is. Nuggets won game 1. I think
Boston done woke up. I think Boston gonna hand it to Miami.
They're gonna have some problems with Bam Adebayo and for Miami and Jimmy Butler, but I think Boston's depth is gonna get Miami.
Yeah. They
won't be able to contain Adebayo and Butler. The one thing that Miami does better than most teams in the NBA is play defense.
They play defense. They play defense, and they got one of the best coaches. They play. Yeah. That's what they have. Yeah. They got the coaches. They got the coach
of the year.
Huh?
That might be he's never won coach of the year.
But he probably won it this year. But this is why I say you might not want to give the MVP to later on, maybe right before the finals or something. I don't know.
Did you know that this is the first time that the MVP has not made it to the conference finals?
It is?
Yeah. It's
I didn't
the
know
first
that.
time. Yeah. It's the first time the MVP has not made it in. Like I said, I love the 76ers, but I've never liked Embiid.
So what do you think about them firing Doc Rivers?
I think I wasn't a big Doc Rivers fan either. And the reason was because, I mean, he won with the Celtics, and I despise the Celtics, but I just didn't think he was that great of a coach. I thought he had great talent around him. When he doesn't make adjustments in the game.
Okay.
And then the other question was the Nuggets are 1-0, and I think Joker is the hardest guy to defend. And the reason I say that is because he is fundamentally sound.
I've been watching their games closely. Guess what? They play team basketball. They know the strength of the team, and when a team get to know that strength of their team, they're hard to beat. And that's what set the Denver Nuggets apart.
Yeah,
that's why they've been so consistent. That's why they've been so consistent.
Exactly. And everybody's saying the altitude is helping them. I disagree with that, and I'll tell you why. Because yes, it's going to hit you at first for a little bit. You played in Denver like I played in Denver.
Yeah.
But as the game progresses, you get used to it. You get your win back. The Lakers only lost by 6 points.
Another thing too, when you out there on that court or when you run down that football field, you ain't thinking about nothing but just trying to get the play. You don't think about the breathing part of it.
No, you just go and play. I played there quite a bit.
Yeah.
I coached there too.
Yeah.
And you get used to it. And you got acclimated. Well, shoot, you better get acclimated. Everybody goes to Denver. Last year when Denver was no good, nobody was talking about the Broncos.
Yeah, nobody said Denver won because we couldn't breathe. No, they didn't win no games at all.
That's right. So I disagree with that on the Lakers. I think the Lakers are going to be fine. Because one thing that you notice is Anthony Davis had 40 points. He didn't Joker had a triple-double. And I think LeBron is going to play better.
Well, one of the things, both of those teams probably going to win games at their home site. So it might go to a 7-game.
I hope not, because if they do, then Denver's going to win the series.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I say I think Denver going to get an 8. I give them the nod.
I'm going to go with Lakers if the Lakers can win in 6. If
they're going to be the Nuggets and the Boston Celtics.
I can't argue with you there.
No, but you go. No, you just said you're going with the Lakers. Who else you going with?
I want the Lakers, but I can't argue. I want the Lakers, but I'm looking at reality.
It's Denver time. I mean, they seeing they gelled at the right time. They playing good basketball. The reason why the Lakers came back last night because the starters they started sending the starters out. They came back on a run.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. You got to make sure.
Here's the thing. The two starters, the two pivotal players for them, this is going to get you, is Murray and Jokic.
Yeah, right.
And 65 points combined. Davis and LeBron James had 66. So their stars outscored the Lakers stars, but the benches or the Reeves didn't have a good game.
Yeah.
And then now they think now the Lakers think they have the answer is putting, I don't know, Raul, whatever his name is. They're thinking about putting him on Joker eat him up.
Oh, don't eat anybody else.
Change things on him.
He just got a good complete game. You can't stop him.
Yeah, he's like what he does is he doesn't jump, out of the gym. He's not going to be flashy, but he's got great skills and technique.
Yeah, yeah.
He's fundamentally sound. And very dependable. Yeah. And what he could do is he could take you out and shoot threes, but he could also take you to the basket and kill you. That's the problem. How do you guard a guy who's 6'11" like that?
And what I like about him, he real aggressive about how he play. He don't take nobody lightly. He gonna take you to he gonna take you off and play like you supposed to play the game of basketball. Physical, dominant, and consistency. That's what he does.
And we can stay on basketball. The NBA lottery was last night.
Yeah.
And the San Antonio Spurs won it. And it's
everybody said that was a joke. How did the Spurs get up to be number one, get the number one pool draft choice?
Yeah. And they're going to take the kid from France. I think his name is Wembley.
Yeah.
And he's 7'4". Now, here's the thing that I know from, observing basketball. The only player that really was great at over 7'3" plus was Yao Ming.
Yeah, from China.
But he was 300 and something pounds.
Big.
And this kid is not very big. If you look at him, he is a skinny dude. How is he going? They're going to say, well, he can play outside, but he is not Kevin Garnett. I wouldn't think so.
I think he going to a good city and a good market to where
but how do you play him?
You play him, just play him all over.
So you're saying to play him out in the perimeter.
Yes.
People want to take advantage of him out in the perimeter because guys are going to run by him. I know he's athletic. And they'll just move him around and try to get space on him.
Yeah. Well, he got a good veteran coach, 70-some years old, so he's going to take
Popovich. And then you got to think, the guy said on the broadcast, I watched it because it was before the Lakers game, that he is the best player to ever come in team sports. I disagree. They're saying that he's better than LeBron. I don't agree with that.
I think by him playing over in Europe,
he's played 20 years.
I think too. By him playing over in Europe, is he going to have ever been really, really challenged? Like
he's not playing in the top league in Europe. Did you know that? In France.
Yeah.
In the top league.
You're right.
They're looking at the physical. They're saying, wow, 7'4", athletic.
Right. Right.
There's a lot of things. How do you play this guy? But Durant was a difference. I mean,
but you know how physical the NBA is.
That's what I'm saying. And we're looking at it, but he's going to have to play. He can't be down the paint a lot.
Yeah.
He's going to have to go down there, but that's not where he's going to make his living at.
Absolutely. He's going to have to probably play like Davis. He got to be that type of player.
Yeah, Davis or Durant, more closer to Durant.
Yeah. But can he shoot like Durant?
He shoots pretty well for a big guy.
Okay.
He shoots. I was watching him. He got some.
I hadn't seen any film on him, tape on him, so I don't know.
But it's they just like you said, nobody anticipated San Antonio winning it.
Yeah, they thought it was gonna be Houston, another team that didn't win any games.
Yeah, and then they were talking. Portland Trailblazers going to trade the number 3 pick. They have the number to try to get some people around their stars.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I know I'm excited to watch him and see what he can bring to the NBA.
Yeah.
That's what.
But yeah, it's going to be good. I enjoy that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, there's still, we can go back to football now. And we talked about it before the show, Dalvin Cook. There is rumors that Dalvin Cook is the Cowboys are looking at him. I would go for him. I like Tony Pollard. He made the Pro Bowl. But you don't know how, if you learn anything about what happened to Michael Gallup coming back from injury, and Tony Pollard broke his leg, but it's a different injury in the knee and the leg. but how are they going to recover and how are they going to play? I know these kids are tough. That's not the question. But do they have enough time to recover? And is Ronald Jones, who's going to be the guy, is he good enough? He's been on 2 Super Bowl teams. But
he can go. He can play. But the only thing is playing all 17 games.
That's my point.
Yeah, that's gonna be key.
Yeah,
and then being able to protect. Well, we'll see because what's supposed to be calling the plays this year. It's probably a different concept on the offensive side.
He was out. He was out for the start of rookie camp because of a back procedure.
Right. McCarthy, yeah,
McCarthy had a back procedure.
What do you do? Standing up too long on the sideline? What's going on? Got an ingrown toenail? What's going on with it?
I don't know. These coaches ain't built like they used to be.
And you have to go get surgery for an ingrown toenail. What the heck going on?
It was a back injury.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say, man, what's going on with this?
It's a back injury.
I'm about to go get my whistle, man. All you gotta do is blow the whistle. Blow the whistle, bro. Blow the whistle.
But now he was out. Other things is they think that their 5th round pick, a kid from San Jose State, a D lineman, is going to be the real deal.
Okay.
But I never believed this until guys get pads on. I never want to hear about this guy and that guy. Put the pads on, because Mike Tyson said it.
What?
Once you get punched in the mouth and then you taste your own blood, things change.
we gonna see what you really are like.
That's
we gonna really find out who.
Whoa! Do I really want to play? There's a little video of these kids.
It reminded me when I was at junior high. One of my best friends. We were playing, we was in the game, and he got tackled real hard, and he broke his little leg. And we say, "Hey, Wayne, are you coming back?" No.
I'll never forget this. When my son Jackson was playing in junior high, he had a buddy who played on the other team.
Yeah,
he hit him, and that's right. And he broke the kid's leg. And the kid looked up and said, "Why, Jackson? I thought we were friends." But you're right. Once you get hit in the mouth.
Man, you get hit in the mouth, you're going to say, do I really want to play this game or what?
Is this worth it? Shoot. Those band members look good over there. They don't have to take this.
And then when I never forget this, man. I said, "Wayne, are you getting ready to work out? You getting ready for football?" He said, "Man, I'm going to the choir. I'm going to sing."
I see.
I said, "That boy can sing. That boy can sing." That's funny.
You learn, you going a cappella.
Hey, I never forget this, man. In college, my college coach said, "Man, today it was just something about we ain't making nobody ain't nobody making no tackles. So today we're gonna separate the sheep from the billy goats."
Ooh.
We hit the whole practice.
Ooh.
We hit the whole practice, man. Hey, some of them boys had to quit, man. We said, coach said, we're gonna separate.
Get away with it back then.
Yeah, we're gonna separate the sheep from the billy goats.
You can get away with. You can't do that now.
Yeah, man. They'll call child protection agency.
Yeah, they call CPS on you.
Yeah. They get
a lawsuit against you.
Oh yeah, man. My second year in college, it was 100 and some degrees every day on that artificial turf. We didn't practice on grass. We was on the artificial turf.
Oh man.
Man, it was so hot out there, man. I was in shape though, but I said, man, some of these guys ain't gonna make it today.
Oh man.
Yeah, man.
I know what you mean, because one time we played the New York Giants with Otis Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
And we played them in Dallas. And I'm up here saying, man, they're gonna die in the heat. It was hot that day. You know, Texas Stadium, those heat waves was coming up. Man, little did I know that the Giants ran 99 plays. Our offense ran 24 plays.
What?
Yes. Our offense ran 24 plays. Man, shoot. In that locker room, it looked like a mass unit. Everybody had IVs and we would die. We wanted to kill. I wanted to kill them. And they like, ain't nothing. Is it that hot out? Shoot, you only ran 24 plays.
Yeah, they always talked about the old Texas Stadium with the roof, hole in the roof and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But when you stand on one sideline and you're looking across the field, you see the waist up. Yep. It had a big crown in the middle.
Remember
of the field.
that big crown and stuff?
Big crown, man. I said, man, you running downhill over here.
I know. And that heat, man, that heat made it even worse on your leg.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. It gets some Texas. You get these Texas hot summers, boy. It's rough.
It was a different kind of heat because I had came from Arizona where it gets, you get 120 day, 118.
Yeah.
But we did practice on grass.
Yeah.
Which makes a difference. We never practiced we didn't even have turf.
Yeah. I tell you another thing down here in Texas too that get a lot of people that's not from here. Man, we get all this rain right now.
Yeah.
So it just would be a matter of time. These mosquitoes could come out and eat some meat. These mosquitoes could have a feast.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, Steve.
Man, you talking about if you go camping or if you get to working out at night, man, you better have on some spray, some off or something. Because if you don't spray, they're gonna tear you up.
Ja Morant want to be gangster. Let some of these gangster mosquitoes get him.
Get down here. Yeah, get down here. He need to let me take him out for a couple of days. I show him a tour. I give him a tour.
Yeah. I remember we were down in Texarkana at your camp, which is coming up
next month. Yeah, next month. Yeah,
next month. And man, that was some kind of heat on that turf, and them kids didn't even bother them.
I spoke last night at my high school sports banquet, and I was telling them, man, you got to be a leopard. We the leopards. That's our name. I said a leopard stands for something. I said a leopard is an opportunist type of animal that hey, when he see his prey, he going after it. So you better become a leopard. I said if you don't know no leopard, get up out of here. I challenged him last night. I said, y'all better start back winning. You don't want a couple state championships in this school. We got to get back up there.
That is a famous school in Texas.
Man, we got a lot of jerseys up there, don't we?
Yeah, you do. A lot of players up there.
Yeah, we got the most notable guy is LaMichael James, running back with the Oregon.
He won the state in the 100, didn't he?
Yeah.
LaMichael, yeah.
And we got a guy named Trey Carson that went to Oregon, then he went to A&M, but now he's coaching. He's on the coaching staff. So he played for Cincinnati and a couple of teams. So he's there on the coaching staff. He's a running back coach.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But that's some. That's what, if you come to Texas to recruit, that's the place you got to go.
Just stop there. We got one kid right now that's in the 9th grade, and he's playing hard.
Everybody in the country's offered him.
Yeah, he's already.
He was at your camp last year.
Yeah, named Prevo, Prevo, Prevo.
And what did he run, like a 4 or 5 something?
He ran like a 4.38, and we had the automatic lasers out there.
When he was just coming out of the 8th grade.
Yeah. He just finished his 9th grade year. He had close to 700 yards receiving yards. He made all district and all newcomer of the year and all that type of stuff already.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a good player. He'll probably be a Cowboy somewhere today and want to be a Cowboy.
He already told me, he said, man, I want to see if I can visit New York. I said, yeah, we'll take you up there.
Yeah, he can visit it, for the Heisman. But that's about it. Then he gonna come back to Texas.
Oh man, but yeah, they were talking about you today. I had a meeting with the golf committee down here today. Yeah. I said, Jim Jeffcoat, he already talked about he he done improve the golf shot and stuff. So I told him we need to have a draft. We need to have some people to start bidding out who they want to play with. So
So it's only going to be a two-man scramble?
Yeah, it's a two-man scramble. It was a two-man scramble last year. You had to leave, I think.
Yeah, no, I didn't come because I was working, but I'm definitely going to be
there. We have a two-man scramble. It's on a Friday.
Okay.
And they get I might have to bid on you, so
okay.
I ain't trying to win the tournament. If I wasn't playing, I ain't trying to win, but I don't have somebody to try to bid on me so we can get more money in the kitty because we're giving out this to charity. We give out to the charity.
I know.
But anyway, I will see if we can get people to bid on us and stuff. So
that's good. That's smart. Smart.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. But I'm just trying to think of anything we haven't been over.
I was gonna say the PGA golf tour is gonna start tomorrow in Oak Hill. So
yeah, in New York, right?
Yeah, Oak Hill.
Is that outside New York?
Yeah.
So
So the PGA, I like watching golf now. It's just fun to see how these guys hit that ball.
Yeah.
They hit these incredible shots, and it's just amazing. And this weekend, you got to hit that ball straight. If you off a little bit, you get in trouble at Oak Hill.
Yeah, it's kind of like in Fort Worth, huh?
Yeah,
it's like the Colonial.
The Colonial, yeah. You got to keep that ball in the driveway, in the straightaway.
I know we're getting close. I got to find out how the boys are doing.
They just text me. So Landon them is they was on the big billboard tonight at Frisco. And their baseball team is winning. They number one right now at Frisco. Mm-hmm. And then the youngest one, he pulled about 15 flags, scored 2 touchdowns, and scored an extra point. So guess what I did this weekend? I bought them some little hand weights. I said, y'all ain't running right. Y'all running all wild. I said, you got to run with a purpose. So I'm going to start training them how to run a little bit. I'm going to start tweaking them on technique.
Yeah, get them this age. Get them this age. The running.
You can get some bad habits. So
you can.
Lincoln running all wild. I say you don't have to just run relax and run vertical.
Yeah. It's kind of like when I started taking boxing. You know how kids are. They go but the guy who was training me said, no, that's not how you box. He said, you can't throw punches. You got to relax as you throw your punches.
Right.
He said, be quicker and stuff like that. You can't fight with rage. You got to be under control. And he taught me that. It helped me actually in football too.
And another thing that I was telling them over the weekends, I went up there and we was together for Mother's Day weekend, and I was saying the key is the ball of your feet.
Yeah.
Not running flat-footed, but being on the balls of your feet.
Yeah. The really good runners.
Yeah.
Do that, And that's, I grew up in Carl Lewis, and you watch him run, and that's how he ran.
Yeah. He can pick him up and put him down.
He could, and he had some limp to him. That was interesting. You talk about Usain. He wasn't as tall as Usain Bolt, but he was taller than you think.
Yeah.
You talking about it.
But one of the things I think one of the things that a lot of these young athletes need to do, they need to go and watch film and study, and then they need to get tweaked here and there,
Yeah. I'm gonna go real quick. I want to see what we got here going on with the Celtics and
the Heat.
The Heat, and see what the score is. Never underestimate the Heat. And just like I said, it's a 2-point game. It's 30-28. Never underestimate.
That's the start of the game, Jim. That's the start of the game.
First quarter.
Boston Celtics, man. Jason.
I'm just telling you, they play hard, Miami. They got Pat Riley. They got Spoelstra. I mean, they are a team.
I won the basketball. I told them last night I didn't get no football award in high school. I won the basketball award. So the Boston Celtics will win tonight.
Okay. All right. We'll see. Let's see.
Now,
we get to the end of the show.
But you know what? You are absolutely right. When you get to the playoff, any and everything can happen.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. And we're getting to the end of the show, but I'm kind of getting excited because we're getting closer and closer to football season, real football, not that USFL and XLL. We get to see the Waddle and stuff. I'm even going to get my YouTube subscription so I can make sure that I get my Sunday ticket.
And I'm gonna tell you this: the football camp shirts will be the same color of the Kansas City, because we always celebrate whoever won the Super Bowl. That's the color that the football shirts will be in this year.
Okay, sounds good. But hey, it's great as always. Enjoy being here with you on Wednesday, folks. We got to get some more people talking in there. We're
gonna get some people on. We got to get people coming on.
We're gonna have to get them. All right.
Go G man.
Right.
Go G man. Go G man.
All right. Go Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? All right.
Bye.
Bye.